Hey everybody, Life Without Pants here, and in today's video we're going to talk about how to make this helmet for our Corrupting Fever Bleed Gladiator. This is a fantastic addition to our gear set. We've got a lot of life on here, we've got resistances, we've got a lot of mana reservation of skills, we've got level of socketed AoE gems, and of course we've got our Enlightened Malevolence, Determination and Pride in here to boost those further, and there's a huge amount of damage boost from our increased vulnerability of Curse Effect. Obviously it's a helmet, so we're going to get Eternal Lab enchant on it, and that's Tornado Shot Fires and additional secondary projectile. So let's dive in to see how we make this helmet. Okay, so obviously we want to state our goals. First of all, we want to figure out what we're going to do. So our base is going to be an eye level 84 strength dex base. Nightmare Bassinet is the best one you can get. I think the one we've got is a fluted bassinet, so this could be improved further. We want Tornado Shot Fires and additional secondary projectile as the enchantment. We're going to put on Mana Reservation of Skills and Vulnerability Curse Effect for our implicits. That's Searing Exarch and Eater of Worlds. We're going to go with Big Life for our prefixes and a crafted +1 to level of AoE gems. And for our suffixes, we're going to go with Mana Reservation of Skills by spamming essences. We want a big resist and a flex spot. And for my build, the flex spot was another resistance. These aren't big resistances really. It's tier 4 and tier 3, but there were 2 of them, and that was quite useful to me. Flex spot, you could go with maybe spell suppression, or a stat if you actually needed it. There's a lot of leeway you can take with this item. So let's get into crafting it. Okay, so here we are, Craft of Exile in the emulator. We're going to go for a helmet, we're going to go for strength dex, and we're going to take the Nightmare Bassinet. We don't need a Penitent Mask, so we don't need Fortify or minus physical damage reduction. We're going to go with eye level 84. This allows us the maximum tier of resistances, life, spell suppression, that kind of stuff, without ruling out too many good options. And we're going to start off the same way we start off with most of these things, just make it magic real quick. And we're going to go straight into our Eldritch crafting. So we're going to spam Greater Embers until we get Vulnerability Curse Effect. So I'm just going to do that, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, we've got Vulnerability Curse Effect. We're also going to chuck on a Grand Ichor here. And then we're going to go straight into Beast Crafting. We're going to make an imprint of this. And then we're going to go back here and hit up with an Orb of Conflict. And hopefully that increased Vulnerability Curse Effect is going to go up a level. It did. So we're going to go and imprint again. And then one more Orb of Conflict. We got to tier 3 this time. That's great. So one more imprint for us. And we got to tier 2. That's absolutely fantastic. So let's put another Ichor on here. One more imprint, and hopefully this will be the last one. This will be 5 in a row. That's quite lucky. We made it, so we got to pretty lucky for us. Shame this is a real one. So we got to tier 1, increased vulnerability curse effect. We're gonna spam with greater Ichors until we get to mana reservation for our Eater of Worlds implicit. So I'll just see you in a second. There we go, we got increased mana reservation of skills, we have increased vulnerability curse effect, so these are looking really good already. Now we can go straight into essence spamming. We're gonna just make this rare so that this works, and then we're going to take, I believe it's Essence of Loathing. And as we're Searing Exarch dominant, that means that we can change the prefixes of our item with these the Eldritch currencies like Chaos Exalted and Annuls. So let's start off with this, and we're just looking for a big resist and something else good. So ideally another resist, or perhaps spell suppression. It depends what your build is lacking. If you're lacking resists, go with resist. If you're lacking spell suppression, take that. And here we are. I think we've got 48% lightning resistance. We've got 23% cold resistance. It's a little low. I'm just going to keep going and see what else we can get. And this is looking actually pretty good here. We've got tier 2 cold resistance. We've got tier 3 chaos resistance, which is very nice to get on this build as well. This build gets very, very tanky the more you put into it, and extra chaos resistance just means you're going to spend less time putting your auras back on because you died. I would absolutely stop here. So let's go into our Eldritch crafting and let's make our prefixes a little bit better. So we're just going to chuck on a couple of exalts. We got tier 3 life. That's actually very good. I'd just remove one of those now and then go straight into the bench. Take the prefixes, and then we're going to go for level of socketed AoE gems. And that's it. This helmet is now finished. We can take a look at what it looks like in game. We've got this one here. For the one I have in game, there's the minor reservation of skills. We've got a tier 4 and a tier 3 resistance, which is what we needed. Tier 2 life, very good, and level of socketed AoE gems. This is a really, really great gear piece for this build. It's an absolutely amazing addition. It really, really brings out the tankiness of the build, and also you get a lot of damage from the increased vulnerability curse effect. You get to fit in a couple more auras with all the mana reservation of skills, just 19% from the helmet alone, which is a lot. This is a really, really fantastic addition. This is the second to last video in this crafting series. I'm not going to do one on the ring because it's literally just a vulnerability on hit synth implicit ring with, I believe it's spammed essences until we got something good. This just filled out a couple of, these are all flex spots essentially. All the suffixes and the prefixes are flex spots for this build. The last piece we're going to do is we're going to, let me just get this out of the way. The last piece we're going to cover is the bow. And this is a completely deterministic bow. You can always, this is the one we have is actually the worst one you can make. Every other bow that you make like this will be either this good or better. So looking forward to that one, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, if you're going to play this build, we're going to play it on League launch, then, you know, chuck it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much.